I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Welcome back to the Quarter Mile Podcast. If you are here on this episode, you've made it to our season 2 finale. We have, for the past 10 episodes, been reviewing Fast and Furious adjacent films, and we've reviewed really weird ones, CJs, haven't we? We've hit.
I've enjoyed
Yeah,
them.
it's been a stretch.
You
We
chose them.
I did, and for that, I take full responsibility for all of your opinions on.
Enjoy the movies that you chose, though. Like, I've enjoyed being under your tutelage.
Thank you. I'm so excited for season 3 when we're back to good movies.
Come on, man. These movies ain't been that bad.
Well, today we are reviewing The Fast and the Furious, and you aren't mistaken. That is the correct name. It is the 1954 Fast and Furious, and we're joined today with one of my favorite people and another comedian. I feel like we're just bringing you comedians every week. But in addition to that, he's a movie critic, film buff, cool dude.
He is cool.
I'm happy to bring you guys Matthew Blevins. Listen, Matthew, we're so excited to have you here. I'm going to ask you the age-old question, and I say that the year-old question that I've been asking all of our guests. Tell us a little about yourself, and most importantly, tell us about your relationship with The Fast and the Furious. And I guess in this case, it can be with either the movie we're reviewing today or the actual franchise, God's favorite series.
My relationship with it, I think we're just on good friend terms. We're not taking it any further than that, you know. But as far as
Not good friends, sir.
yeah, just
Y'all are platonic.
yeah,
Platonic,
we're
yeah.
platonic. I'm trying to respect its boundaries and it respects my boundaries. It's
Fair.
a good arrangement, but
I love that description.
That's a great answer.
well, yeah, and like I'm Matthew Blevins. I'm a comedian kicking around on all of the stages in Nashville. You might have seen me. Most of you probably have not. I've been a comic for about 9 years now. I started out in Omaha and Lincoln, and prior to being a comic, I was actually a film critic for Next Projection out of Toronto, and we did a lot of stuff for the Tiff Bell Lightbox, and I had series like the Cult Picks and Trash Flicks series where
Ooh,
I would review stuff like Roger Corman movies all the time because
nice.
to me this stuff is important. It has a purpose, you know. And Roger Corman he came to the party earlier than everybody else in just about every genre, and he did it cheaper and more efficiently than anybody else. And for that, I have nothing but respect for the guy. Plus, he found all of these amazing talents, you know. So for me, I like the Fast and the Furious movie. It means more to me than any of the other Fast and the Furious movies. That's why I picked this one to be on.
That's right.
Aw.
You did specifically request this. So you were maybe our first sign up for which movies to do, and you picked this one. And now it makes so much sense. My first thought was like, really?
Yeah. No, I like to hide in obscurity. See, if you pick the most obscure titles, then you never have to worry about anyone seeing you. So
Look at you, man of mystery.
So this is our last episode for season 2. We do have a few later little filler episodes, like in anime when you have the main storyline, but then after a big plot point, it goes.
Yeah, it goes
We
into the.
We got like 3 filler episodes. I'll tell you guys about that at the end of the show. But I think what we all are here for is to talk about the Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the
I didn't even realize that it was The Fast and the Furious until you really just said that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was
The Fast
very
and the
intentional.
Furious.
When I started preparing for this season 2, my big plan was to, in case I didn't want to go past 2 seasons, I liked the idea of ending with this movie review because then my first episode and my last episode would have had the same name.
Very good.
So yeah,
circle.
but we're just gonna keep going until we find a third Fast.
We're square in the circle.
So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the Fast and the Furious. First of all, just the connection this has with the actual franchise with Vin Diesel and all of them is when they made the 2001 The Fast and the Furious, they actually bought the title rights to this The Fast and the Furious. And there's an interview where he, with the director where I heard him talk about how like this is a rare moment where like movie directors and production studios actually got along and just did things to be nice.
Oh,
So they reached out and they said, "Listen, you could try to name your movie this, but there would be a lawsuit and you'd probably lose. But we just want to give it to you."
Well,
And so,
nice.
yeah, and
That
so
sounds good.
that it just worked out, and so that's cool.
There were several options in contention, if I recall.
Yes, the best one was Race Wars.
Race Wars, yeah.
The Red Line was another.
Oh, race war. That was
Yeah, because Race Wars was a thing in the movie, a race.
of a race. Yeah.
But talk about
I've sent the wrong message.
yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine if 2 races, 2 wars, Race War, Tokyo Drift, race?
Yeah. Now that you're saying that,
Although it might have gotten really popular recently, honestly.
Yeah, might have really picked up. But I am glad that they did not call it Race Wars. Also, like, I feel like we've talked about Red Line enough.
oh, we have.
So that I'm glad they didn't make it. Anyway, so they landed on the Fast and the Furious, but before there was the Vin Diesel Fast and the Furious, there was the 1954 Fast and Furious, which was shot in 9 days. They shot this movie in 9 days, and like you were saying, Corbin, he only spent $50,000 on it, and the movie ended up making $250,000.
Yeah,
Nice.
smart guy, and he did second unit direction on this, I guess. And because of the work that he did with the camera and being behind the camera, he wanted to start directing movies because of this movie.
Really? Okay, that's really cool. So this was the movie that did it for him.
This was his breakout. His
The only 2 casts that I noted, although if you guys have more thoughts on the rest of the cast, you're more than happy to share about. But John Ireland was Frank Webster, and the other movie I'd recognized him from was Spartacus, and that was about it. And then Dorothy Malone was Connie Adair.
yeah.
Her character, we'll get into it, was the most annoying to me for the entire movie. And it would actually be a fun game or a fun poll to put out. Who is more annoying, Connie in this movie or Jillian in the Fast and the Furious? That
Oh.
I think that Connie probably has less survival instincts. Connie seemed to be trying to have herself killed. And
I just couldn't understand her.
Yeah.
For the life of me, she was probably the most quintessential dumbass in
so much.
It's like getting into a codependent relationship with your captor one day, and
oh Jesus Christ, like that was just ridiculous.
It got dark there. I mean, like if people that look at this as like a love story and like, oh, that's romantic. I don't know. I look at it as like Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, absolutely Stockholm syndrome. My only question is, why did they kiss so hard in the 50s?
Oh, that
they kissed so hard.
First kiss where he kissed her before she was in love with him was a little awkward. I felt like I need someone should call an authority.
What are those authorities going to do? The cops in this movie were just
so useless.
Oh, they were so useless.
Apparently.
So, I will say that has been a running theme.
Yep.
Cops have never been good.
That fit well with, because in all the Fast and the Furious.
Because how you gonna ask this man, what are you doing? Is everything okay? What's going on?
You were speeding and your taillight's out. This woman seems to be disturbed, but
it looks like you're the police instincts.
No, nobody had any instincts, because during that time, again, that's when women had no rights.
Right.
So, is that your wife? No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He must be telling the truth.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Also, like, their big way to find the leads was like ask a guy who's coming in and out of a coma. This seems like a way to.
I just don't understand why the main character looked so old.
Yeah, he looked like he was ready for retirement.
He's supposed to be this young.
So help me with what did he do?
He was a truck driver,
right?
And then did he like kill someone?
No, it was an accident.
Yeah, he was running his own truck driver business, and the man wanted to bring him down, and so they were trying to run him off
the road. Yeah,
and so he kind of did some defensive driving, and then ended up driving.
I like how you said defensive driving
accidentally, and apparently then chose to break out of jail because he figured they were definitely going to find him guilty.
Right. Nobody came to his like.
That is such a jump for an accidental workplace. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel for the what must have been going on through his head when he accidentally killed a guy, but like. He's a white man in the 50s. He would have been fine.
he would have been fine. They let him into a car race all the way into Mexico because why not? It's like, as long as a dame ain't driving, then we're gonna be fine.
But so this was my thought through the whole movie, because as I was watching this movie, my brain was like, how can I connect it to Fast and Furious? And here's my connection. In the first Fast and Furious, in 2001, the issue was they were stealing DVDs from truck drivers, and there was all these scenes where like they were fighting off, the truck drivers were just doing their day job, people were breaking in and they were like pulling out baseball bats and fighting off I would have loved for the first truck driver in that 2001 movie to be this guy. He got his life together, he got back on the road, and what happens but Vin Diesel and his gang show up to take DVD VCR combo players that he's delivering to the shipment.
He wouldn't know how to program them anyway.
Yeah, this one was I just didn't understand, because the way he broke out of jail was weird.
Did we ever see him break out of jail?
He just showed up at the diner.
Showed up at the diner. That's what I'm saying. It was weird. I couldn't understand, like, from that one scene that he got arrested to now he's in the diner. I'm like, wait, what the fuck happened?
And
did he get his phone call?
And everybody was suspicious of him the entire time.
And he was like, no.
Like, I couldn't understand it. And where in the hell did he get the ID from, Brian Myers? Where did that come from?
I don't know.
I don't know if they covered that. Yeah.
They probably, that was probably a loose end that they did not tie up, is my guess.
Like, I never could figure out, like, how did he get in the damn race?
Yeah.
He got in.
Like I said, it's 1954. As long as you're not a dame, they'll let you drive to Mexico.
I'm sure that they may, hey, you can't do it. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous today.
Yeah, and then Connie taught him how to be a better driver.
Which I give credit to the movie about, and a better person.
And a better person.
Because he turned himself in. I will give credit to the movie about that. At least they acknowledge that women can drive.
Yeah.
At that time.
That's true.
So he, like, even some of the monologue between other, like, whoa, she's like, that's not cool. Women are really good.
Secret badass. The whole time.
The whole time.
And I mean, right from the very beginning, that opening scene where she pulls in and the other dude who he eventually kind of kills, or no, he doesn't kill. He just knocks him out.
He knocks him out, but the cops show up, thinks he's shot. Talk to the gal about pineapple juice for another half an hour, and then just let this guy lay on the floor, wait for an ambulance. No checking in.
Shit, now I'm not gonna lie, she was probably my favorite character.
The waitress. Yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
I agree.
The waitress was my favorite character.
She was the smartest one in the.
She could be in any movie today right now. I tell you, like, if I was looking at her, I was like, this is a Boondocks character to me. She is a Boondocks character. Like, everything, like, she is the woman that you want to meet on the street. Like, is my hair good? Okay, good. Put some lipstick on real quick.
They might be taking my picture.
They might be taking my picture. Hold on. I love everything about her. I love.
I agree. She was great. We only saw her for that opening scene, but like her acting in it was enough where I was like, we should see more of her.
Exactly. And that's what you want.
For bit parts in a B movie, especially like a first time production from a Roger Corman, you don't usually find performances like that with these side characters.
No,
they're usually way over, but there was something authentic about her that was just endearing.
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so. What was it? Where was this shot at?
Oh, I have no idea.
Near Mexico.
That's true. You had to be in Cali.
Mexico or
the 50s. So yeah, it had to be California, Mexico.
I'm guessing.
That probably is true. So before we share more about our thoughts, we do want to, in case you're watching this or listening to this podcast and you're like, what movie are they talking about? I didn't watch it before listening to a podcast episode about it. We do an age-old tradition here, and by that I mean a year-old tradition, where we have an AI plot summary, and our guest always gets the opportunity to read the plot summary. For this week, our plot summary is coming from the perspective of someone who was existing in the 1950s. So just kind of some old school language that we hope will be entertaining. And Matthew, we're so excited for you to read it for us.
So are you going to read it in the style of the old school radio?
That's what I'm hoping to do. But we'll see what comes out of my head, you know? to let it just flow,
let it breathe, and just
in that flow state. So we'll give it a try here.
All right,
gather around, all you cool cats and hip chicks, because the 1955 flick, The Fast and the Furious, is ready to burn rubber and jazz up your afternoon at the Picture House. It's a real doozy, bursting with more horsepower than a stampede at rodeo, and a plot as twisty as a sock hop dance floor. Our tale kicks off with Frank Webster, a rough and tumble rebel who's on the lam. Accused of a crime he swears up and down he didn't commit. He's got more heat on his tail than a grilled cheese sandwich in a roadhouse diner. With Johnny Law breathing down his neck, Frank goes full tilt and hijacks not just any car, but the saucy little convertible belonging to Connie Adair, a gal with more gumption than a double scoop sundae. As Connie and Frank take their show on the road, it's not all smooth cruising. Connie's got sass to spare, and Frank's temper runs hotter than a jalopy with a busted radiator.
Because it's a jalopy.
Wouldn't you know it, amidst the cat and mouse chases and roadside banter, sparks start flying faster than a 4th of July fireworks show. The dynamic duo finds themselves wrapped up in a high-octane road rally heading straight to Mexico, a getaway plan slicker than greased lightning. Along the way, they dodge cops, nosy rally participants, and just for kicks, the occasional existential crisis. Will Frank prove he's not the big bad wolf everyone's made him out to be? Or will the truth stall out like an old engine on a chilly morning? With car chases that rattle your feelings and dialogue snappier than a finger-clicking jazz.
What?
The Fast and the Furious roars through its runtime, leaving skid marks on your soul. I'm sorry, skid marks on your I'm glad I didn't read this ahead of time.
Ooh, that was a great line.
Yes.
Skid marks on your soul.
It's a gas, daddy-o, and by the end, you'll be rooting for love to cross the finish line before the law shuts down the whole shebang. So there you have it, a movie that's pedal to the metal in every sense and guaranteed to rev your motor.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That was great, Matthew. Thank you so much.
Wow, I feel like I became something new.
Yeah,
and
something
lost
came out
part
there,
of
yeah.
myself at the same time.
And found a part of yourself that you never knew.
I am over here dying laughing.
I can already tell, and I don't know if I'll do it for the whole episode, but I can already tell when I edit this and I have you doing that. For the video part, it's going to be in black and white. So I don't know. And now I'm wondering, should I make the entire thing?
Oh.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we should be smoking cigarettes in here, and there should be someone playing a trombone sadly in the corner.
Am I even supposed to be here? Whoa.
That's right.
I got a lot going wrong right now.
Yeah,
She is a woman, and
I'm
black.
black.
Oh my gosh.
it's not
Jesus
a
Christ.
great decade for you, but if we're in...
Man, I'm in a house? Holy sh...
Actually, I could probably call the police and have you kicked out. I'm taking over this whole thing.
That's true. And
Oh,
I'm Italian, so I wouldn't be far. You could probably just like, this is
Yeah, you're good now. In the 50s, you're good. They've already assimilated you guys. You're good.
We've been speaking so highly of this movie, and I do want to eventually get back to our high thoughts of this movie, which maybe we were all high when we were watching the movie. I don't know. I would be remiss if I didn't share bad movie reviews of this movie. I had a hard time getting good opinions of this movie.
What?
Turns out the people in Fast and Furious Reddit had not seen the 1955. Someone even made fun of me for because my heading for the post where I was asking opinions is I put it the movie poster, and which of course has the car and the two people in it, and I think my quote was like, "Wow, Vin Diesel and Paul Walker will look really different in this movie," was what I said, and then some person commented, "Haha, so funny, I forgot to laugh," and I responded with, "I'll forgive you."
They came at you with a Pee Wee Herman comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that are incorrect.
That's so funny. I forgot to laugh.
Yeah,
I know you are, but what am
I,
Davis?
right, absolutely. So okay, so here's some people that didn't love the movie. So this first one says, crap. What old black and white lacked in Sadeg's great effects and cinematography usually makes up with superior dialogue and storyline. This one, though, crap summarizes it all. And then this one says, the only Fast and Furious I like, and I'm pretty sure there's no race or car gay sex scenes in this. So that's why I like this Fast and Furious. I just want to say that if none of the franchise Fast and Furious Vin Diesel ones, or the ones even without Vin Diesel, have gay sex scenes in them. If you're watching a Fast and Furious movie that has a gay sex scene in it, it's like the Fast and Furious or something. Like, it's not.
I have gay sex.
They don't know, but this person's like, it doesn't have a gay sex scene, so I liked it. I don't know.
I think someone is just too uncomfortable with their own sexuality, and Paul Walker did things to them that they weren't prepared for.
It's not
Fair.
it's not his fault that he was probably the most beautiful man in the world.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This one says, I'm still trying to find the logic of how hair can still look that good in a speeding car with the top down. Talking about Connie. Her hair never.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah. I was.
Thought about that.
Yeah.
God, what products did they even have?
Well,
Lack of women rights. That's when women don't have rights and freedoms, their hair stays where the men told it needed to stay.
that's true.
We need never mind.
Prohibition hair.
I've been.
That did get messed up because she was doing like this at one point.
Oh, okay.
At one
The
point.
more her opinions were mattering to the movie, the less her hair was.
You know what? Shut up.
And then this is the either best or worst movie review of all time.
I'm ready.
It literally sums up you could put this in any movie and it would be just as right in every movie. I just think it's funny that someone was like, I'm going to put this comment down. It says, if you like this kind of stuff, watch it. If otherwise, don't.
Okay.
If you like this kind of stuff, watch it. And if otherwise, don't. So just basically it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's the new tagline for the podcast, by the way. If you like this kind of stuff,
Watch it.
watch it.
But don't, you know? I love that.
What advice is that?
Someone took the time out of their day to write that down.
What kind of advice is that? If you like this,
They might have been on heavy edibles when they wrote that comment.
I feel like they were, because
Yeah,
that's just
that's-
rude.
Yeah, what a weird comment. Anyway, speaking of weird comments, what are the rest of our like what other thoughts and feelings and things did this movie bring up for you?
I felt like that this was a movie about a woman who was on a quest for pineapple juice and then just got sidetracked the entire time with no survival instincts. However, I must reiterate, she falls in love with her captor. He locks her in a building, and her solution to this conundrum is to light that building on fire.
On fire.
On
On
fire.
fire.
Yeah.
Go back to him
Go back to him.
and help him out.
Go all the way to Mexico to try and help this man. I don't know what happened in that building for that short amount of time, but it must have been magical.
Worst part, never got her pineapple juice.
Never.
Did.
Did she eat? Did she get a chance to eat?
She ate like a tuna sandwich, which is another parallel between the Fast and Furious is 2001 and this one.
What was amazing about the sandwich that she did get to eat was that these people are carrying like Batman utility belts worth of stuff underneath of their shirts. Like he pulls out a thermos full of soup,
He
a
does.
sandwich. She's got keys hidden in hers. It's
Like,
I didn't know that like that. That's why women's clothes didn't have pockets this whole time.
Oh, yeah. No. We always carry
because you got the utility.
things in our garment belts. and
Yeah,
stuff.
you gotta.
Yeah, that's what a garment belt is called.
Yeah.
you have to.
So when do you guys think she officially fell in love with the criminal?
I think it was when he pulled the gun on her the second time
Yeah.
or the first time.
What was it about that made her think this is the one?
It was just the way she did him like this. All right. I like you. You'll kill me, but you haven't yet.
She likes a dangerous man.
She likes this. I don't know what she liked. Because when he was like, he did it so quick, and she just okay.
Yeah.
That to me, that was her moment right there. That was it.
That was it.
That's just me.
For me, it was right when they left the diner, got into the car. It was 1954. You have a man and a woman riding in a car together. I think once you made the third turn, you're technically in like a common law marriage.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's right.
Yep.
That's true. I
Yeah.
forgot.
You
yeah.
can't be riding around with a man.
Yeah, give him like 6 no's before it was like, all right, I like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Or maybe her whole plan was like, well, this guy kidnapped me, but I still got a race to get to. So
Right.
we're going to work this around. Like, you know how you could get away from the cops if you went and did this race?
Like he very quiet. He even know she was trying to escape. Like he just kindly went around there to the bathroom to see her coming out the window.
That was hilarious
Yeah.
to me because it's like if she makes it out of here, there's no movie left.
That's it.
Yeah.
Going somewhere? I guess not. That's
And, then
not.
and there was no like trying to tell the guy.
Yeah, no. Why would I tell him I'm kidnapped?
No, no.
Yeah,
At no point when she met her friends at the race did she say, or did no point did they say, "Hey, who's this new guy that Connie's around?"
Neither when she came dirtied up to get someone else's car, looking like she was very disheveled. Are you sure you're okay? I'll tell you about it later. All right.
It makes sense that this movie is black and white because they saw none of those red flags. It was like, yeah. Also, one of my favorite quotes was the man Frank, when he got her, he's like, "You're more trouble than you're worth. Why do I keep you?" It's like, why do you keep her? You are on the run, sir. You do not need this
Good
woman.
question. That's a good question. Why do I keep you?
That's
Why did you take me to begin with? What's the better question?
yeah.
What's the better question? Why am I here? I never got my pineapple juice to this day.
I hope that waitress is running behind them with the 2 cans of pineapple.
You guys forgot this.
You forgot your pineapple.
You forgot your pineapple juice.
And I would have loved for her to be at the end. Just here's your pineapple juice. And do you need us to get the cops now? Like,
Nah, they said it was a jalopy. She was my favorite. I don't care what it was. Jalopy.
She was the hero. She was
Like now I see why my grandmother said those words, jalopy and picture house, because those words, those words were real. Like that's the picture house.
This is the first time I've heard jalopy in like a context that wasn't like an older person telling me about their car.
I love that word, jalopy.
It makes me think of gelato, and then I get disappointed. That's
What?
like when I hear jalopy, I think like, oh yeah, I could go for some gelato right now.
So
Oh
6 degrees of separation from an ice cream product of some kind in his mind.
no, it is an absolute piece of nothing car. Now I did like the fact that it was a lot of Jags in this bad
They
boy.
were so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jags were cool. Some of the stock footage racing stuff was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That Rolls Royce that one fella
That bad boy was nice.
ooh, that was a nice car, but you could tell why Connie wants a more dangerous man if
Yeah.
the kind of idiots that are trying
Yeah,
to,
they were like, okay, go with him. I have no questions.
yeah, go with him.
It's,
He's no race car driver. but-
this movie still had more racing than the last like 5 Fast and Furious movies. Like that was
I mean, racing. It was like what? I mean, at least the race for at least like 3 minutes worth of the movie.
Yeah.
and there was an exciting crash scene where
Yeah.
Hey, yo, okay, can we talk about that for a minute? Because
Absolutely.
I thought that was a Michael Bay type of crash. Because the way he crashed out, it was like do do do. I was like, whoa! Now that is how you crash.
Yeah, that's a good.
Now somebody died in the audience that day.
and I think that they probably if they didn't die in the crash, they died when Frank ragdolled them out.
Yeah, just like get him up.
Oh my god! Like those crashes were, they were so fast.
Yeah.
They were so fast for me. I enjoyed
That was
those
convincing.
crashes.
Some of the car scenes where they're driving around and they've got that rear projection happening, those weren't convincing.
Oh gosh, no!
Jean-Luc Godard, he was not, but
Yeah.
it was
Those crashes, those rolling over them.
Some of the scenes you're talking about that weren't convincing, you could literally see the boom mic operator back there.
Yeah.
You could, and like a reflection, you could see the camera people. But I like you said, CJ, I did really like that crash scene, and that was a good scene.
So I need to go back and look. I want to see the boom mic.
No, you can see it's there. But excuse me, what I really liked was when he went back. That was when you saw character development in him. I remember writing
I agree with
my
that.
own little personal notes as I was watching. I was like, I like that scene. That show. This was the first likable thing that this man did. So it makes you. And then like if we're going to this whole stupid, they fell in love and it made him a better person storyline. Then that's like where you're like, oh, this is the guy, and then that's kind of when he was choosing to turn himself in.
You're innocent.
So we need a Too Fast, Too Furious 1955 edition where like we figure out, did he get a fair trial? Like, is he okay?
He said he was like he said he was going to turn himself in because they're going to make it. Okay, a better day tomorrow. They're going to.
Yeah.
So
What
cheesy.
if she?
cheesy. And I love that it just went straight to the end with no
Yeah.
real resolution.
No real resolution.
Yeah. We don't know.
We don't know if he got arrested.
Yeah, to this day.
She was like, "You could have left."
He got arrested. She didn't want to be with a man in prison, so she left him for the race car dude.
The corny one.
Yep,
The corny one.
Yeah.
that's the start of.
Hey, what are you, her keeper?
That guy was weird.
Yeah, he was eternally driving around the friend zone in his Rolls Royce.
Oh, he was such the friend.
I felt for him so Just
Drew's
bro, I've
emphasizing
been
with the
there.
least
Like, I
likable
get it,
character.
I get it, man. You're holding out. You're like, maybe after the next race, she'll see that I'm the one that's still here. She never will.
No,
Never.
no,
Move
She'll
on.
never burn a house down while she's in it for you.
no.
No, that's love or psychotic.
Either way, it's exciting to me. You know, I grew up in a real toxic family, so it's like, am I in love with this?
Yes, yes, you are.
If you're not burning the houses down, then you're probably not in love.
That's a
That's
good
what I'm
point.
saying. It's Roger Corman. I like I said, I respect the guy and his body of work, even though it's really sporadic. He's like launched the careers of so many amazing people. You wouldn't have Jack Nicholson unless he had appeared in the Little Shop of Horrors movie that Corman did. You don't have James Cameron.
Oh,
Battle Beyond the Stars. James Cameron worked on that movie. But as far as like even car movies that Roger Corman did, this isn't even in my top of car movies that Roger Corman did. For that, I'd have to go to Death Race 2000 with David Carradine. That is an awesome car movie.
Okay. Does it compare to Fast and Furious Death Race with
It was a
DMX?
remake. No, this was Jason Statham. I guess they did a Death Race.
There we go.
movie.
The Death Race is the real Death Races are worth watching. The DMX movie. What CJ asked, we can't say it. So DMX is worth watching that movie, not so.
I love DMX.
Yes.
So I only found one piece of trivia.
Okay.
If you guys have any other things that you know, this I would love to hear it because I couldn't find much. I know that's a shocker with this movie that I didn't find much, but I didn't. But here's so Roger Corman doubled as one of the race drivers and got so caught up in the race that he forgot that he wasn't supposed to win it. He wound up beating star John Ireland across the finish line, resulting in another take being shot in which Ireland won the race.
Oh, so he just got
got into it. He's like, I want to race.
His ego got
that.
so out of control that he blew his own shot. Though I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy behavior. That's interesting.
That's fun, right? Like
fun.
that's weird, but
Well, not necessarily about this movie in particular, but because of this movie, because of the money that he made on it, he made another movie called "Eat My Dust" with a young. I'm blanking on. Ron Howard. So Ron
Wow.
Howard wanted to be a director, and so Roger Corman allowed him to direct Grand Theft Auto if he would appear in Eat My Dust. So,
nice.
Yep.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
yeah, that's the stuff that rolls around in my head
That's
all
a
the
good-
time. And
I love that you're to share that. That's a fun
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Good
Well,
old Ron Howard.
Too Fast, Too Furious movie rating. What do we got? What are we giving this? Too Fast, you loved it. Fast, you liked it. Furious, you didn't like it, or you didn't really care. Too Furious, you hated it, and maybe your life's less than because of it.
I will go with just I liked it.
Okay.
I gotta go Furious on this one. It's like trending on apathy. Because Roger Corman made better movies, but this was an important piece in the creation of this guy's career. So that's kind of cool. But with a 73-minute runtime, it still felt like the longest of all of the Fast and Furious movies.
Like that. No. Yeah. Where you at with it?
I'm gonna give it a Furious. I didn't like it, and I didn't enjoy watching it. I didn't have fun with it, but I didn't like. I don't want to give it it didn't give me a Too Furious vibe, but I feel like it was like an in between Furious and Too Furious.
Yeah.
I
Like-
watched worse movies
Yeah.
from the era.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, but I'll tell you, I kind of have more of appreciation after this conversation of this movie. So that I love it when that happens in this podcast. Is when we talk about a movie, we learn it. I see things through other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
So like I'm good. I think my honest answer is Furious, but it's more of the don't care
Okay.
than the don't like.
Yeah.
So, definitely a weird movie to end our season 2 on. We started with Point Break, and then we did this one, and it's like, well, so if you're listen, if you're watching and listening to us, keep going for season 3. We're gonna bring back some good movies.
Yeah, we are. We
Well,
really
the
are.
thing about this one is you can go watch it on YouTube right now, I would like to see in the comments. I want to see everybody's best pineapple gal impressions.
Right, absolutely. She was the best.
She was.
So we are at the point of the show where it's Drew's best bits. This is a very important episode for this little mini game that me and CJ have. To catch everyone up, we've been doing this every episode for season 2. This is the last episode of season 2, so there will be a winner at the end of this episode.
I have to win.
Currently, the score is 9 Drew, 8 CJ. The way this works, Matt, is I'm going to give three of my best bits or best scenes in the movies. I'll tell you the qualifier, but every week we pick a different qualifier and different, it could be like our favorite scene, the worst scene, the funniest or whatever.
I won the last time.
And she did win the last time. So, but you have to win your point and Matt's point to actually win.
To actually win.
If
Okay.
one of you picks incorrectly, I win. So I love it already.
Right.
So I'm going to give you 3 scenes. So the topic for this week's is, I didn't come up with a catchy name for it, but basically sexist things Frank said. I picked my top 3 favorite sexist things that he said. And so here are the 3 things.
And these and the qualifier is, this is what you think is the most.
I think the correct answer is yes, it is the most. I was going to say most funny to me, but that also
funny?
ties in with most sexist as well.
Okay.
So yeah, yes, but also in my head it was like, this was the one I laughed at the most because.
Okay, I'm with that.
So, okay. So I feel like these were all pretty early on in the movie. The first thing he said was like, literally his first quote to Carrie was, "I like my women quiet."
You did say that.
And then when they were talking about food, or he's trying to get food for someone else, he's like, "She's always hungry."
He did.
that was a good one. And then the last option is at one point there she's like complaining about moving. He's like, "Exercise is good for your figure."
He did say that.
So all 3 of them great gemstones of terrible sexism in the 50s, but only one can be the best bit by my standards. What do you guys think?
I gotta go with exercise because it made me laugh out loud when you said it again. In a lot of these lines, I remember laughing out loud like watching this movie.
Yeah,
For all the wrong reasons.
I'm gonna go with that one.
I'm gonna go with that one. So
Yeah.
so that means you're either winning or you've lost.
Yep,
because you guys are going the same one.
Yeah,
You had to, because what choice did you have? If I'm wrong, you'd lose anyway.
I would.
Yep.
I would, but
good call, good strategy.
Yep.
but
Yep.
yeah, that was the one that stood out to me.
Well, for the first time in Quarter Mile podcast history, I've lost with our third skin season. That was the one. CJ wins 10-9. And she has called it from episode 1 that she was going to win. So,
Let me find some. I'll find some. Hold on.
She's live tweeting her victory.
No, I'm not lying to you. Hold on, wait. No. I gotta find it because Drew is not gonna believe it. So hold on.
I'll believe it. I mean, I was here. Okay, there we go.
That's it.
Love it. She had that ready just so that she knew when she
Yes.
won. She brought that just for this episode.
Yes.
She downloaded that app just for this morning.
You spent $1.99.
Yes.
On the Jamaican air horn. Thank you guys so much for being with us for all these episodes we've been doing for season 2. We've reviewed some good movies. We've reviewed some mini movies. We've reviewed some terrible movies, but you've stuck with us all around. And so,
Oh.
most importantly, thank you to everyone who's been watching the reels, the episodes, the participating on all the things. This podcast, the most fun part is interacting with everyone we interact with online or
Thank you to everybody who's sponsored and spotlight, and we've given spotlights to.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd love to do that more. So if you're interested in being spotlit in our podcast, we'd love to have you. And then Matthew, thank you for being on our show.
It was an honor. This was so much fun. It just breezed right by. And I think that this probably went quicker than the 73-minute runtime of the Fast and
Absolutely.
Furious.
That is so much better than our season 1 season finale, where we, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to make a 2-hour episode on the 10th Fast and Furious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't edit more on that one, but it exists. It's out there now. So
Someone's still watching it to this day.
Absolutely. But is there anything you'd like to promote or shout or give? I will put a lot of your social media on in our
Oh, yeah,
action, but feel
absolutely.
free to.
Well, all of the shows that I've got are probably going to be before this episode comes out in the next few weeks. But find me on the road. You can check me out at Blevo Comedy on Instagram, Threads, and X if that's your thing. Otherwise, come check me out at a show or check out the Movie Wars podcast.
Yeah.
Also a frequent contributor on. So I think you had Kyle Castro in here for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I've been on the Movie
You've
Wars
been
as well.
on Movie
So
Wars, so
that's like a friend podcast. I don't know, like
Absolutely.
an ally to the quarter mile. I don't know.
Absolutely. And then, I'm also co-hosting Deliciously Nothing podcast this season as well,
Yes, you are.
where we talk about known meth addict Drew Davis from time to time.
Exactly. That has been a recurring joke I've heard on the. Yeah. You didn't know that, Mommy? I'm a known meth addict, according to Deliciously Nothing.
Yeah, they said that Drew doesn't have any darkness to him. I'm like, he's a secret meth addict. I started that 2 years ago. It's been going ever since.
And everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Someone literally went up to me and asked me how I was doing one time. Like, how are you doing with your meth? And I was like,
yeah, keep an eye on him, you guys. He's not.
Will beat somebody up. I'm thinking about my brother.
He's not going to make it without your support. So.
yeah, I need it.
Leave my Drew Bear alone.
That's great. And you guys will have to get a time machine and go back in time. But Matthew's literally performing on one of my shows tomorrow. So
I think you were there. We had fun. I did great. So
He said I did great.
it was a great time. So
Great time.
all right. As we close, remember we do have 3 filler episodes coming up next week. It's a random Zoom episode I did a while back where we're focusing on Mark Wahlberg with one of my friends, Gavin Eddings, who's
That
runs
restaurant
different-
is pretty good.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, the
Is there a Wahlberg restaurant?
a burger restaurant
yeah, burger restaurant now.
down in Alabama.
I'm going to visit there next time.
I bought a shirt.
That's awesome. I did not know that. Okay, so unfortunately, we didn't cover the Wahlberg restaurant, but now we did, so you're caught up. And then the episode after that, we're bringing in a good friend of ours, Renard Hirsch, and we're having another Fast and Furious interview.
Bestie.
Because what is this podcast if we don't talk about Fast and Furious? It's just
Hi,
you just got to
bestie.
throw it in there occasionally. And then I'm super excited about the last episode before we start season 3.
What is it?
That's the one where CJ is in charge of everything, and she picks the movie. And
I already picked the movie.
what movie are we doing?
Wait, didn't I tell you last
You
night?
told me last night, but I 100% forgot.
It's a really, really bad movie. Probably the worst movie that has been made ever. And I need to see Drew's face. You ready for this?
Okay.
It's called Uma.
Puma Man.
Puma Man. Have you seen it, Matt?
I can't say that I have. Are we talking like 70s
Yep.
blaxploitation? Okay.
No, it's not blaxploitation.
It's not.
It's a superhero.
Oh, it's a superhero.
It's about a
Okay.
superhero.
I'm already on board.
It's a superhero, but it's definitely what you think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
we're watching
horrible.
Puma Man,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna have a reaction to it.
There's going to open up like doors in his mind. That
What if it
were
becomes like
never
my
closing
favorite
again.
movie? Like,
Yeah.
what if I'm like I've now made this podcast only Puma Man?
I can guarantee it will not be. I can guarantee you're gonna be like, CJ, I don't want you on my podcast anymore. because
it's
this
gonna
movie
kill. It's gonna
is
break
so
our
bad.
friendship.
I think that Drew might take to Nashville streets as Puma Man and fighting crime.
I think you should watch it and like call in like while we're on the
All
podcast.
right, I
like,
will definitely. do
Absolutely.
that.
So-
That's awesome.
But that's what's coming up. We're so glad you guys are here. Spend this week watching some good movies. Watch a bad movie. Go watch a 1955 movie if you want. There's
I watched Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. So thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, live your life a quarter mile at a time.